Well, we got my old grandson Ethan out here, and he's doing some painting for me. We have some siding problems on the shed, and I went ahead and fixed him up with a little bit of transmitter music. A little transmitter music. What we're going to do is tomorrow we're going to cut a foot on the siding on the shed off. We got a little rotted on the bottom, so we're going to replace it with this, caulk it up, give it a second coat of paint. Right now he's preparing the first layer. Doing a good job. And I'll keep him in oldies but goodies kind of decent music here. Meanwhile, there's something I have to do. While old Ethan's out there doing his painting, I'm going to whip up an Italian sausage soup. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. And we're going to do that with a little bit of Italian seasoning. We're going to throw an onion in there. And we're going to put some minced garlic and a couple of zucchinis that'll be chopped up, some baby carrots that'll be chopped up, a couple of cans of beef broth, and I'm going to add some lentils to it also, and a couple of pounds of Italian sausage, and eventually it'll be topped off with some Parmesan Romano cheese. Now, normally lentils are not added to an Italian sausage soup, but you know, I like lentils, and we're going to add them because they taste good. We're not going to put a whole pound in, we're just going to put a few. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead toward the end of the cooking, add some spinach. We're going to kind of cut them up and separate them, you know, tear them up in little bite-sized pieces. Put them in there, stir them in, only about 5 minutes worth of cooking so they wilt. We don't want them to be, you know, smushy spinach. I love raw spinach in a salad, but I'll tell you what, I do not like it cooked. I've never liked it cooked. My sister could eat that whole bag cooked and want more, and I never could. I can tolerate it a little bit more now than I could when I was younger. I put a little hot sauce on it. That's about the only way to go. Anyway, first thing we're going to do is skin all these Italian sausage links. We're going to chop it all up. We're going to put it in the old Dutch oven. Throw in a little mince, and we're going to fry it around a little bit until it gets pretty well cooked. We're going to cook it outside on the grill, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a little garlic to it and mix that in. That'll be our first step. So let's get that done. All the links have been skinned and put in here. Now I have to break them up into tiny little pieces as much as I can, and then when we get out on the grill, they'll break up even more. We're going to cook them all up and then add the minced garlic. A lot of people take the, you know, fresh garlic cloves, but yeah, what do they know, you know? I like the stuff that's already made. It's in the jar. Where did I put it? It's around here somewhere. There it is. I like this kind of stuff. It's already made. Good to go. It's fresh as can be. It's not dried. Not dried. It's wet. So this is our next step. Now we need to chop up a couple of medium-sized zucchinis. We're just going to, you know, slice them lengthways. A couple of times we're going to quarter them, then just cut across. And, you know, the thickness, and it depends on you, the amount of zucchini you use, if any. It depends on you. And a cup of carrots. We're going to use baby carrots. We're just going to chop them up. I'm not a big cooked carrot fan either. You know, spinach and cooked spinach and cooked carrots never were my two favorite veggies. I love them raw, but not cooked. So we're going to chop all that up. Let me get that done. The zucchini has been chopped up into quarters. You can make it smaller if you want, thinner. You don't. It's up to you. You got about a cup of carrots. I use the mini. You can use the regular carrots if you want. And I'm going to add about a half an onion, okay? And then when I'm done with that, later on we're going to add about a cup of lentils to the boiling mixture. It only takes 15 to 20 minutes of boiling to get these things nice and soft the way they should be. Well, the first thing we're going to do is get this old Italian sausage chopped up. I tried to find some bulk Italian sausage, but they didn't have any. That's why we had to go with the links. But you know, you can use either one, I guess. One of these is a Walmart brand, the other one's a Johnson Farms. Two different brands. They both look the same to me. I don't know how they're going to taste. I don't see any big deal. We're going to go ahead and brown these things, get them nice and brown. I've got it over a low heat. And then we're going to go ahead and add we'll add the garlic next. Alright, what I'm doing here is just chopping up the Italian sausage into little tiny pieces. You can chop it up any size you want. It's up to you. I'm just showing you the way I do it, okay? You do it your way. Alright. I don't want to have the meat too big and chunky, you know what I mean? Yeah, the more it cooks, the easier it is to break up. You got to constantly work it, you know. Just take your time. This is a really neat dish. It tastes pretty good, smells real good. I like that. In a few minutes we'll add that garlic, and then we're going to add a couple of cans of beef broth, but you can go ahead and use chicken broth if you want, or whatever. You can use chocolate syrup for all I care. It's up to you. It's your Italian sausage soup, okay? Alright, let's add some garlic. Supposed to add about a teaspoon. Well, that looks like about a teaspoon. I happen to like a lot of garlic. Oop, got a bee here trying to get me. Can't have that garlic, buddy. Sorry. Might even add just a little bit more because there's quite a bit of Italian sausage in there. Normally 1 pound would be enough, you know, for 2-3 people, but we got 7 people we're cooking for here tonight. So 7 people, you know, they'll gobble it right up, I'm pretty sure, especially if it tastes as good as I know it's going to taste. Okay. Alright. I'm going to let it saute for just a few more minutes with the lid on. Oh boy, she's smelling good. That garlic, you know, next to bacon, I think garlic is the best smell in the world when it's cooking. Oh, nothing like it. Okay, now comes a couple of cans of the old beef broth. Now I'm using Walmart brand. I went down to Walmart earlier and I looked around the aisles and that's the only kind I could find. So, you know, I'm not going to argue with anybody. I'm just going to go ahead and buy the beef broth that Walmart sells. And then go ahead and mix all that up. Get that stuff cooking real good down there. Ooh, I'll tell you what. It's looking good already. Now I know that Lockmeister is smacking his lips, and right behind him is Sky Carl saying, "Make sure my bowl gets filled." Al, poor old Radio Al, he's got to stay to the rear of the line. We'll give him the crackers. He can't eat the kind of stuff we eat. Poor feller. Poor feller. You know, I think right about now might be the time to throw in some Italian seasoning. This is Italian seasoning that this is what McCormick calls Italian seasoning. I'm not certain that's exactly what it is, but we're going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm sure it's got parsley in it, and oregano, and thyme. Let me see, basil. Got a bunch of stuff in it. What the heck? We'll just add a little bit of that and just kind of season it up real good. Alright, now we've got that done. Now let's go ahead and throw in some diced tomatoes. Now they say, you know, it's better to use the Italian stewed tomatoes, but they didn't have Italian stewed tomatoes. They only had Hunt's diced. So it's not Italian, so I'm going to make it Italian. I'm just going to kind of wave my hands around. Mamma mia, that's some Italian tomatoes. Boy, doesn't that look good? Yes, it does. Okay, the seasoning's been stirred around. We're going to add a little bit of salt. Not a whole lot. Just enough to give it a little salty taste. And like I said, there's a couple of cans of stuff and a bunch of stuff. We'll add a little bit of pepper, I think, to go with that too. And then we'll go ahead and stir that around a little bit. Mix it around. Yeah. Ooh, man, oh man, oh man. This smells so good. I can't believe it. I can't believe how good it smells. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to add our vegetables, and then we're going to let this whole thing cook for a while. Let's go ahead and add the zucchini, the onions, and the carrots. Put it right on in there. Put it right on in there. That's right. Just put it right on in there. And then we're going to stir that around. Then I'm going to bring up the fire just a little bit and just let everything just kind of cook. Just kind of cook. I might have made those zucchinis a little bit too big. I don't know. That's okay. If they don't like it, they don't have to eat it. I'll eat it. I'll take it to work with me and I'll eat it. No big deal to me. It'll wilt a lot. I got a couple of them that weren't cut entirely in half, like that one right there. My bad. And there's another one. Okay, we got them now. The next ingredient is a can of Great Northern beans. And, you know, there's quite a bit of juice in these beans, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of it off. I don't want all that juice, okay? We've already got plenty of juice in the soup. We'll have some of the juice, of course, but not a whole lot. Bush beans, boy, I tell you what, I don't care what kind of bean they make, it's always good. And I'm also going to add a cup of lentils to it. So, I said there would only be one ingredient. There's actually going to be three. 1, 2, and one more. So let me go ahead and put the lentils. I'm debating whether to go a half a cup or a cup. Probably about a half a cup, I think, I ought to do it on the lentils. I cranked up the fire a little bit to kind of help get those vegetables cooked a little faster. Everybody's sort of getting hungry. And as you can see, we got plenty of juice for the soup. Plenty of juice. We really don't need all that bean juice. So let's go ahead and add the beans. Yes, you don't have to add the beans. You don't want the beans, don't put the beans in. I think the beans sounds like a great idea. I got this recipe, the basic recipe, off of YouTube. There was a video that said how to make a Italian sausage soup, or Italian, it just labeled Italian sausage soup, I think it was. I decided to alter it just a little bit, you know, to suit my own taste, which is what, you know, you're expected to do. Do it your way. Okay, let's just let that sit there and simmer again for a while, and then we'll add our lentils here shortly. Now, lentils only take about 10 to 15 minutes to cook, so what we're going to do is we're going to simmer this after the vegetables are pretty cooked. The carrots and the zucchini and the onion and stuff like that. After it's pretty cooked, then we'll go ahead and simmer for 15 minutes. That's when we'll add our lentils. And toward the end, we'll add the last ingredient. Yeah, let's see how we're doing here. Ooh, she's boiling real good, doing real good. Tell you what, let's go ahead and stir it around a little bit. See if that doesn't help. Oh yeah. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I can't tell you how good this smells. I really can't. I'm glad I came on this little recipe on the internet. I just sort of, I don't know what I was looking for, but there it was, you know. I said, I'm going to give that a try. That looks really good. Alright, I think we can put our old lentils in now. Oop, there goes my spoon. I'm going to have to wash it. Anyway, the old lentils, I was going to put a half a cup, but I wound up filling it up to 2/3, so what do I care, you know? I ain't going to worry about it. Let me go wash the spoon. Alright, spoon's washed. Now we'll stir the old lentils around in there. You can put any kind of thing in there. You don't even have to put the lentils in. You can put little macaroni, some of your favorite little pasta. They have all kinds of Italian names for different pastas. I just happen to be a lentil liker. Always have been. I don't know why. It adds a nice little flavor to everything. And, you know, it doesn't overpower it, is what I like. So, unless you put 2/3 of a cup in instead of half. Alright, let's let it cook for just a few more minutes, and then I want to make sure the zucchinis are cooked. They feel like they are. The carrots, they're pretty good. They're small. We'll give it another 5 minutes, I think. Then we'll come back out and check it. I have turned off the fire, and now we're going to let it sit and steep for the next 5 minutes. And now we add the final ingredient, the spinach, the raw spinach, the little pieces of spinach. Go ahead and put it on in there, and then just let it sit and wilt all by itself down in there. Just kind of stir it around and just let it wilt. Just sit there, no more fire. Just let it wilt under, you know, just sitting in the brew. I tasted it a few seconds ago. It tasted awful salty to me. Maybe I put too much salt in. Oh, it's terrible. I hope not. I hope not. We're going to top all this off with Parmesan cheese, each bowl, and listen to everybody complain about how salty it is. Well, there it is, all done, sitting on the table. I hope it's not too salty for everybody. Grandma, you like salt anyway, don't you?
I sometimes.
Sometimes. Ethan, did you wash your hands, boy?
Yes,
good man. All right. I think what I'm going to do is make Ethan the sacrificial lamb. Here, put your bowl up here. We're going to let him.
Yeah.
We're going to let him tell us if he likes it. You want some more? Well, why don't you taste it first?
Yeah, I was saying.
Tell me what you think.
It's a little.
Alright, we're going to add the old Parmesan cheese in the middle. Right about like that.
There it is hot.
Ethan's already got some. And wifey has got a loaf of bread she's slicing up. It's got a kind of a garlic taste to it. This ought to be pretty good. I'll tell you, this smells good. Now if we can get Ethan's mom and dad in here, we'll have everybody, won't we?
Yep.
Alright. Of course my daughter will say, "It sucks." So you don't like it? You don't like it? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I figured that. That's no problem. What do you think, Scott? Pretty good, ain't it?
Yeah,
pretty tasty. Wow. Let's get a vote for Ethan. What do you think, buddy? Was it good?
Well, I ate it pretty fast, so I'd say yes.
Yeah, you went through that bowl already. Grandma likes it, right?
Yes.
Evan, what do you think, boy?
It's good. It's just not my taste right now.
What does that mean right now? Like an hour from now it'll be different, or what?
Like maybe a couple of days.
Couple of days?
Let it settle down.
Honey, what do you think, baby?
It's pretty good.
I like it. I think it tastes really good. It's got a real Italian taste. Doesn't it have Italian taste to it?
What do y'all know about Italian taste?
I know a lot about Italian taste. More than you do because you never eat it. Well, that's it. It was a good supper all the way around. And it turned out that the soup was not salty at all. I guess I must have got a pieces of salt in there that hadn't dissolved or something. But that's it until next time. I hope you enjoyed it. Try that Italian sausage soup. It's really good. You know, do a video on it. I'm tired of being the only guy doing the cooking around here. Come on, let's have a video or two from you guys. All my subscribers, I see maybe one, maybe two cooking videos from any of you. Let's start participating here, guys. Until next time, this is John.